Thank you very much. It's good to be here and good to meet the people and listen to the concerns that they've got with my colleague who's running in the seat, Sharon Morrow, for the seat of Durack, the Labor candidate. So it's really good to listen from the first-hand experience and knowledge of the challenges, the concerns and frustrations that people have got with the lack of services actually that are not being delivered.
A lot of that comes back to obviously housing. Labor very recently announcing extra funding, if elected, to go into WA remote housing. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, the current minister made a complete botch of dealing with the states over the extension of the NAPARI, the remote housing agreement. And what we've done is come to reassure the state that we'll provide in our first year of government, if we are elected, the same level of funding that was provided previously, and then we'll sit down with the state and have a look at how better to progress these housing needs, not only in remote areas but in other places, because I think the complexity of homelessness and affordable housing, home ownership, all of those other issues are really part and parcel of that discussion. But we certainly will guarantee, I think it's in the order of $120 or so million to the state in our first year, and then we'll sit down and chat about all these other things.
Labor's committed to abolishing the CDP program and replacing it with a new one. What do you think the new program will look like in a place like Fitzroy Crossing?
It'll look very much like the old CDEP, where the local community had control, where they determined the sort of work that was to be done, worked on the principle of no work, no pay. We'll get rid of those draconian penalties that are so dreadful and oppressive in the current system. We'll make it more an incentive program where people are incentivised rather than penalised for wanting to get on and do work and improve their dispositions. We want to cut some of the red tape that's associated with all of this as well, and we want to make sure that training opportunities for people is delivered in their location so that they can remain in their places, and we want to make sure that there's opportunities for small businesses, etc., and for trade acquisitions and things like that.
If Labor wins the election, which you're hoping for, it's highly likely that you'll be Australia's first First Nations Minister for Indigenous Affairs. What will Labor do, if elected to government, in this region to make people's lives better?
We'll try to get, and I would be greatly honoured if that was the case, but I'm not putting the cart before the horse just yet. We've got to get re-elected. But if that was the case, I'd be looking to create capacity back in the regions for First Nations peoples to have a say over the things that affect them, and that's having a look at what the public sector outlays are in these places, who's delivering those outlays, how effective it is, are they getting the value for it, and then how can they be modified in line with the people's aspirations so that they are back in the driving seat of their own destinies and not being dictated to from a centralised position.
Pat Dodson, thank you.
Thank you very much.